start.
Okay.
So today what we do is we'll brush up the SQL part, okay, and then
Okay.
we may start a sample report also, okay.
Okay.
Parallelly we'll try to do it. Else what may happen is like it seems a very boring thing.
Okay.
Okay. So like one basic thing also we have to understand is the Oracle e-business suite. So what kind of architecture it is? Technical. What is the technical architecture behind this one? It's a 3-tier, 4-tier. What exactly it is? Any idea?
I think it's 3-tier.
Yeah, it is 3-tier architecture. And what are the tiers?
I don't know about it. Like,
Yeah, see, the the 3 tiers are the user interface, nothing but like whatever the front end which you see in the browser, right? Like when you open Oracle Business Suite, you could see either OAF page or Oracle form. This is a user interface, right?
okay.
And coming to the
Yes.
other thing is middle tier, and then other one is database. So database, it uses Oracle database, and the version depends upon your e-business version. Let us say if you are
Okay.
12.1.3, your database can be 11G. If you are using 12.2, it can be 12G. So it depends upon the version, compatible version which they use the appropriate database. And
Okay.
coming to the middle tier, so in the middle tier, we have a lot number of application servers which will run. Like some of the examples are Apache server, form
Okay.
server, report server, workflow server, or workflow engine. Lot number of servers which runs in the middle tier to make sure that each component runs. So
Okay.
for each component, like we have RiseW, right? Like we have reports and interfaces. Conversion generally it's a PL SQL, so you'll have a PL SQL engine for that. And of course, you will have a middle tier server running for database also, isn't it? You'll have a
Yes.
database for database also. There will be middle tier server which runs.
Okay.
So even workflow, you'll have workflow engine. So what I'm saying is like for each particular component, you'll have a middle tier server which runs to make that particular program runnable.
Okay.
Okay, that is a middle tier server.
Okay.
So I will ask you one basic question: what is the difference between compiler and middle tier or application server?
Okay. Compiler, eh, which compiles the program, which runs the program, which is understandable by the machine.
Mm-hmm.
But here in application server, we use the programs
Mm-hmm.
like to convert from the user interface to the database in how we want to store it in the database. We give the instructions in the server.
Okay, so compiler which converts your source code into compiled code, right? Generally
Yes.
Java to dot class. And generally, like in the compiler, there should be an executable engine also, isn't it? You'll have an executable engine, like example JVM, right? Which runs dot class file to executable code, right?
Yes.
To executable program. Now coming to application server. So in the application server, as per my understanding, I really don't know exact definition, but what my understanding is, in the application server, you require the compiled code. Okay. Application
Okay.
server on its own will not do any compilation. It requires compiled code and it will just perform execution.
Okay.
So what I'm saying is like generally, like when you do any normal Java programming, you just require a Java JVM with JVM, like nothing but what you do, Java followed by your program name. This is what you do it, right? Even application
Yes.
server will do the same thing. Application server is nothing but a runtime engine for your compiled code.
Okay.
But But the thing is, application server is a very heavy end application. It is just not a normal, it is not used for running a single program, right? It has to run hundreds, thousands of programs. That's the reason it's application server, which will have lot number of, libraries and the remaining other components, which makes your program runnable in a faster manner.
Okay.
Okay, clear?
Clear.
Now, so coming to R12.2 dot stuff, the only difference is in the middle tier. In the middle tier, instead of Apache server, you have a WebLogic server. Okay.
Oh,
And other thing, like in the WebLogic server, you'll have a set of manager servers. So in the manager servers, you'll be having these all stuff again. Same thing, REST components.
okay.
Okay. Yeah. So let's get back. So I'll try to discuss about this particular architecture again, like once we start registration of a report. Okay. As of now, we can ignore.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So why I started this one, because I always try to prefer to have a clarity on the basic things. Okay.
Okay.
So how many types of databases are there? How many types of databases are there in the market?
No, I think I don't know.
So, okay. So,
Oracle
or how
database,
many vendors are there for databases? How many vendors are there for databases?
like Oracle providing database.
Yeah, Oracle is there, IBM is there, Microsoft is there, right?
Yes.
And Mongo is there, right? Lot number of things.
Okay.
Google is there, etc. Okay. Now coming to types of databases, we have RDBMS, we have columnar database, right?
Yes.
Document database, network database, so on. This is a basic difference. Okay.
Okay.
The present database which we are using is Oracle Oracle database, and that is RDBMS, because from Oracle there are a lot number of database types these days. Initially it was just an RDBMS, but now that is not the case. You have a lot number of databases and different flavors from Oracle also. But the flavor, the one which we use within the e-business suite, it is RDBMS, Relational Database Management System. Okay.
Okay.
So when you say Relational Database Management System, it means that every table, not exactly, but generally tables are related with other tables based on a specific column. That is why it is called RDBMS,
Okay.
Relational Database Management System. Okay. So now in the SQL, so we have two components from database. One is SQL, another one is PL SQL. SQL stands for Structured Query Language, and PL SQL stands for Procedural Language for SQL. Okay. Now,
Okay.
so in the SQL, like I see, generally it's a programming language. Every programming language will have a set of keywords and a syntax and semantic rules, right? So we just need to understand them. So in the
Okay.
SQL, these are the major important keywords like select, from, where, group by, having, order by. So these things we have to have a clarity, where to use what and what is their purpose. So coming
Okay.
to select, select is for the purpose of
Extraction
selecting
of data.
columns. Okay. This is for the purpose of selecting columns and nothing but which columns you want to show in the output. Okay.
Okay.
And coming to the from clause, we generally call these particular keywords as clauses. Okay.
Okay.
So from is for the purpose of providing source information. Nothing but it can be tables, it can be views, it can be synonyms, right? It can be materialized view also.
Okay.
And what is the purpose of where clause?
Like from where we need to get the, like from which table.
That is from clause, not where clause.
Okay. Okay. Where is the condition? We are applying some condition
Yeah.
like that.
So conditional logic or
Where
filtering
we,
logic.
yes.
Filtering logic. And this is for the purpose of filtering the rows, not the columns. Conditional filter
Okay.
logic for the purpose of filtering the rows. Okay.
Rules.
This is for the group by. So we'll not understand exactly what is this group by until unless we see a real-time sample. Okay. But as of now, I can
Okay.
say group the rows based on the columns mentioned.
Okay.
Okay. Having is for the purpose of filtering the group data. The basic difference between a where and having is where is for the purpose of filtering each and every row, but having clause is for having clause will get applied only when you have a group by. If you don't have group by, you cannot
Okay.
apply having.
Okay.
That is the reason we have to mention filtering the group data. Order by
Okay.
clause, order by is for the purpose of sorting the data.
It is
Clear?
also used when we are having a group by, or
No,
we
no.
can use.
Order by can be used anytime, but
Okay.
I just mentioned the sequence. Let us say if you're using all the clauses, where you should mention order by. So this is sequence of the clauses you have to mention. Any
Okay.
basic SQL query should have select and from. Remaining is not mandatory, but any basic SQL query always will have select
Select
and
and
from. Without select and from, we cannot write any query.
okay.
Okay. So let's do some samples on this area. So we'll start with EMP table. Okay. So select star from. Okay.
EMP.
If you observe here, select I mention, then I mention star, then I mention from. So if let us say if I don't mention from, if I don't mention anything after from, let's see what happens. Can you see? It says invalid table name. So any valid query will require
No.
a table name, and also it requires select star from keywords. Now
Okay.
let's say I mention EMP. Now I'll try to execute. Right? I got the data.
Okay.
Okay. So here in the select clause, I just mentioned star. Star means whatever the columns which I have
Retrieve
in
all
the
that.
EMP table, all the columns will get shown, right?
Yes.
Let us say if I mention select EMP number from EMP, now what will happen?
The EMP number column will.
Yeah, only EMP number column will get shown, right?
Yes.
Now let us say EMP number, comma, salary from EMP. Now,
Both the EMP number and the salary will come up from the table.
yeah, now
If
it
you have
says,
the salary column,
yeah. So why it is giving this error?
that salary column is not the.
Yeah, okay. Salary column now it is fine. Okay.
Yes.
Now let us say we'll apply our where clause. Select and from is generally quite easy. Select and from is
Okay.
generally quite easy. So we just select in the select clause, we just mention, we need to mention what columns we want, and in the from clause, from which table, from which source you want to get the data. So now let us say we'll
Okay.
apply where clause, EMP number, salary, e-name from EMP, where I want to retrieve all the
Mhm.
employees who belong to department number 10.
Okay. Your department number equal to 10.
Okay. Now let us say I have another requirement. I want to retrieve all the employees who belongs to department number 10 or 20. Then what should I do?
So select EMP salary name from employee where department number
Hmm.
10 and 20. It's like we use
And or what it is? If I use and or,
okay.
which one I should use?
And
Are you sure?
you see,
Are you
you
sure?
said about the both 10 and 20, right? If you want to get the 10 and 20,
So one basic thing you have to understand here is in the EMP table, you will have only one employee record for each employee, isn't it?
yes.
And nothing but like each employee number is unique. So at any point of
Yes.
time, an employee cannot belong to two departments.
Okay.
So then what should I mention here?
Okay. Or then either of the employee having the department number 10 or 20 should come out as the an output.
So all the employees who belong to either 10 or 20, then this is a requirement.
Okay.
Clear?
Clear.
So now we have one more way also we can mention. Let us say if it goes on, let us say someone says, no, I require 30 also, I require 40 also. So the best syntax for this particular requirement is what you have to do is you just use in clause where department in, better use this syntax. This is a quite easier one. 10, 20, 30, 40 like this.
Okay.
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 So it is in clause is generally applied, gets applied on the set. This is set, right? So set is
Yes.
nothing but a set of unique columns. Generally in the normal mathematics, you have a concept called sets. Set is
Yes.
nothing but
Yes.
a unique set of columns, right? Unique set of values, I
Yes.
can say. So now we have a unique set of values here, and now the department number will get applied on these particular set of values. Now, one basic question I have here. Now, when I wrote any query, which particular clause is getting applied at what point of time? Now, I have three keywords here, right? Four exactly. Select,
Select
from,
from
where,
where and
and
in.
in. So now, if someone asks you which keyword is evaluated first, how does the execution happens?
Actually, from my understanding, I think
Mm,
it's from first executor, like from which
mm,
table we need to
yeah.
it, it asks
Mm,
and where
mm,
and then in and then after that select because it's like
yeah.
after executing these where and in. so we can retrieve all the data according to the particular columns.
Yeah, that's correct. So first from will get applied, and then where get applied, and then in get applied, and then last finally select will get applied. Okay, clear?
Yes, clear.
Okay. Now let us see if I have requirement to retrieve all the employees who belong to department number 10 and job as clerk. What should I do?
Select start from where employee where department number equal to 10 and the other job
Yeah. Should I mention and or here?
and so
Okay.
we are asking like two particular columns, right?
Yeah. Right. So the requirement we have to clearly understand the requirement. So if someone asks, if you see here as per this requirement, get all the employees who belong to
Department
department
number
number
10
10 and job as clerk. Okay. Let us someone ask you other question. Let us say, can you get me all the employees who belong to department 10 or job as clerk? Then what should I do?
at that point also we need to apply the and.
Are you sure?
Yes, I am sure because it will give the both the.
So here the requirement is they're not trying to validate that any employee should be belong to both the stuff at the same point of time, right? It can be either job as a clerk or it can be belong to department number 10. That's what the requirement is.
Okay, then we should use R so that we can use it. Either the department number is 10 or the job as clerk.
Yeah,
The
that's
both the.
yes. That's a clarity we should have it. Why I'm telling this basic thing, because generally when you get a report requirements, you will always have this kind of confusion. So sometimes the English what your functional consultant mentioned, we may not have a clarity. So we have to ask them to validate, are you expecting and or? We have to have that
Okay,
particular clarity. Now if you
okay.
observe the basic difference between this particular keyword, line number 19 retrieved only 2 records, but line number 22 has retrieved how many records? Can you see?
It's like 11.
Yeah. Okay. So,
Yes,
uh, 30 records we got it.
that is
Right. This is what happens.
okay. Clear.
Okay. Yeah. So now so now let's concentrate on this one. What is table name Jewel? Do you know what is a table name Jewel?
Jewel is like I think in our labs we use it to get the like system date,
Mm-hmm.
system timings.
Mm-hmm.
What's the timing by giving the proper syntax.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Use it as a default table that exists in the machine.
Okay. Okay.
That's what I know.
Can you tell me what will happen now?
Select from say from you. If you have any table from no, I think nothing will get. It's,
Okay. So how about this one?
so here we get about all the tables in the mission. Tables. Like here we are using get date.
So
It gives
here.
the present date,
Yeah.
date and time majorly. We use it for
Okay. I'll clarify that. See here I mentioned select star from GL. There's nothing there is nothing special in the GL table, right? Just a GL table. If you see, GL table have only one record and one column. Just see here, you'll understand now.
okay.
GL is a normal table. There is nothing specialty on the GL table.
Okay.
GL table is having a column called dummy. The column name itself is dummy, and the value is X,
Okay.
right? Now,
Okay.
as you're saying that like you we generally use for the purpose of getting sys date. Okay, just see this one. Sys date from, will this work? Line number 30.
No.
Why?
Actually, that employee table does not have any system data.
Yeah, but
We
system
don't
date is
store any.
available in dual table. Is
Yes.
who said? Just now we have seen, right, line number 26, we have seen the result that it is having only
Yeah.
one column and one value. There is no sysdate at all.
We use it for like to getting data. Can you please clarify that?
Can you see now how many records I got it?
It's a total 39.
39. Why 39 I got it? Because I have 39 records in my EMP.
Okay.
Can you see EMP number?
Yes.
Okay. System date, sysdate is a global function. It's a global function. A function can be used in any of the SQL query. It doesn't matter from which table it is. Global functions
Okay.
are, function is not stored in a database table, right? A function
Yes.
is not stored in a database table. It's just a global function
Yes.
which is available.
Yes. Clear.
Now,
So
the dual is just a
so
dual is just a table with a single column. So
so if
when you
we use
yeah
sysdate,
yeah
if we select sysdate from dual, what will we get? Like that single X column, we'll get the date. That's it.
it depends upon what columns you mention in the select clause, right? Let us say if I mention sysdate comma dummy from dual, see the difference. That's it,
Okay.
right?
So dual is just a dummy table. That's it.
That's it.
So what is the purpose of that?
No, purpose is like I see generally like when we generally write in a PL/SQL program, if you want to validate the function, what we do is we just need to run it, right? So now if you
Yes.
observe line number 30, when I applied my function on the EMP table, what it is happening? It is executing 30 number of times, right? 33 times,
Yes.
39
Yes.
times. But if I apply the same function on the dual table, it gets executed only once because it is having only one row. It is just a dummy
Yes.
table which is having single rows so that you can try to validate your functions.
Okay. It's just for validating ourselves, validating the function that we have created.
That's the only purpose.
Just for
There is no other purpose
okay.
at all. Yeah.
Okay.
In some
If we
scenarios,
take all the
in some scenarios, like what we do is like we'll try to append some dummy records to existing table. I'll tell you that. Let us say select EMP number, ename, sal from EMP, union. What I do is select 1234 Vamshi 12345 from dual. That's it. This is just for the purpose of using some dummy data.
okay.
So here let us say if I mention order by, I'll try to use this higher digit.
Okay.
Got it?
Okay.
It can be for n number of reasons. It is not just only for the purpose of executing functions. It can be number of reasons. It goes on. I can't even tell that. It goes on. The lot
Okay.
number of reasons where you
I,
use the dual.
I understand. Understand. It's like a dummy table that we can use it wherever we want,
Yeah, of course.
even selecting data or something, validating or wherever.
Yeah.
Okay. Clear.
Now, so now what will happen? Line number 41. Will it
If
work?
we have any no, if we have any column like 1, 2, 3, 4, if we have any record like 1, 2, 3, 4 from the employee table, it
See,
will get
first of all, we have
if
to have
we select.
you need to understand what is table, what is row, what is column, okay, and what is static value, and generally we call it literals.
Okay.
Now here, which table we are using here? Which table we are
Employee
using? Okay,
EMP.
and is 1 2 3 4 is a column name?
No.
Is it just a static value, right?
Yes.
Right? It's just a number, so number does not require any single quotes. That is first thing. It's a number,
Yeah.
and it is just a static value. A static value cannot be a column, right? It's just a static value. It cannot be a column.
Okay.
So it does not need to be available to EMP, right? It's just a
Yes.
temporary value. So if I run it, I'll get 39 rows. Simple.
Okay.
If I run the same thing, let us say if I use the same thing instead of EMP table, if I mention dual, what will happen?
It will only get only one row.
Yeah. So is 1 2 3 4 available in the table?
No.
Clear?
Clear.
Now let us say I'll write one more thing. Now what will happen?
It's also a static value.
Yeah, that's it. So it will get
That's
repeated based on the number of rows which are there in the EMP table.
EMP.
So, but if I
That's it.
mention, let us say if I mention hello like this, will it work?
No, because it doesn't have a single quotes.
Yep, because I mentioned
That's
hello
true.
there. Hello is not a column name. Let us say if you see here, EMP NVO is a column name,
Column.
right? So single quote should not be mentioned. Let us say if you mention single quotes, again it will be, see here. See the difference. If I mention single quotes, what happens? It becomes a static text. It does not,
Static
it will not consider as a column. But if I mention
column.
EMP number without quotes, it will validate whether that particular column is available in the table or not. Based on that, it will work.
Okay.
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 Yeah. Now, so coming to other thing. Now what will happen? Will it work?
No, those are also, it's a static value. That's it.
Yeah. But what will be the result?
I think that 10 plus 20, 30 will become,
Mm-hmm.
will the database will consider this operator,
Mm-hmm.
this operator.
30 will get printed 39 times.
Okay. Okay, the column number will be like 10 plus 20 and the total result will be in the
Yeah. Column name generally like whatever you mention that will become your column name and the value will be the computation of it. And if you want to have, let us say you want to mention some column name, I can mention like this.
okay, yes, by using as.
As or maybe some, you just need to use appropriate syntax here. It's a column alias.
Okay,
Like this you can use.
okay,
Okay.
okay.
Now coming to the important one. So now what will be the value? How many columns I will get displayed first of all?
1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay. And what will be the value of each and every column?
Null, null, and here it's 10. If like null means it's 0 or it takes, okay, null is a static here. No, all null.
Okay.
Okay, so what's the value
Null
that
will,
null?
anything is always null.
Okay,
Null is not equivalent to space. Null is not equivalent to 0. You cannot compute anything with null. You can't even compare null with null.
okay,
Now let us say if I mention select star from EMP where there are some employees where department is null. Okay. So now if I want to
okay,
retrieve all of them, if I mention where department is equal to null, just see what will happen. No records, right?
okay.
But there are departments, I'll show you that. Instead of is equal to, I have to use is. Can you see?
Yes,
So when you are trying to compare with a null, always we have to use is. Is equal to will not
is
work. Is equal to will not work on the null.
okay.
Okay. Yeah. Now coming to group by. So let us say requirement is display number of employees in each department. So I just want to have in the output the department number followed by the number of employees in each department. So how do we do
Okay.
it? So in the output we require department number
Select.
and we require the count, right?
Okay.
From EMP. And now what group by column I have to mention here?
From employee group by the display number of each department. Department.
Okay,
That's it.
that's it. Now I can mention order by now. Let us say I want to mention order by department number.
Okay.
right? Now in this one, if you observe, there are two employees who are having null department number. So for them, it's showing 2, right?
Okay.
Now let us say
Yes.
you want to exclude the null value. So what should I do? Should I use having clause or should I use where clause?
Where?
Okay. So I just need to use where department number is null. Sorry, is not null. I have to use it because I want to get only those particular employees, those particular
Who
departments where,
value
yeah.
who value is not null.
Okay.
Okay.
Now let us say, or maybe like what we want to do is we just want to find out the number of employees. Um, we just want to find out the number of employees in each okay, let's do first thing. Get the list of departments and the salaries paid to each employee. Nothing but in the output we just want to group the data based on the department number and total salary paid.
Okay.
Okay, so like we have a list of employees who belong to a specific department. We just need to sum up all the salaries of each and every employee and display according to the department.
Okay.
Okay, so now what should I do? Select department number from EMP, group by department number, right? So how do I get a salary? Sum of salary.
Sum of salary.
That's it. But now let us say I would like to consider only the departments which are there in either 10 or 20.
So here we use like where clause.
Yeah, where department in 10 or 20.
Then 20.
Okay, clear?
Clear.
So for other thing is, let us say I want to list down all the departments where the number of employees in each department are greater than 3. I want to list down all the employees, all the departments with their number of employee count, but having said that, having the number of employees in a given department are greater than 3.
Okay. So
Yeah. Select department number, count of star from EMP. Nothing is, we just want to display only those particular departments where the number of employees in a particular department are greater than 3.
where department number greater than 3.
Come again.
Where department number is greater than 3. Like where?
I'm not talking about department number. I'm talking about the number of employees in each department. Can you see,
Number of
list down all the departments where the number of employees in each department, are greater
where department are greater than 3.
than.
Okay.
Yeah.
The employee
Hmm.
where
Yep.
sum of
Sum of. So
number of employees in each department. How we can get the total employees in
yeah. So first thing is you have to use group by. Okay. Now what will happen is observe here, like select, as we know that select will get applied at last. Correct.
yes.
Now start with the from. So let us assume that I have 100 employees. Assume that
Okay.
I have 100 employees and each employee belongs to a different department. Okay, what we do when you perform group by department number, what will happen? The segregation of the data will happen according to the department. Assume that there are 3 unique departments. So what will happen?
Okay.
Nothing but 3 groups will be formed, isn't it?
Yes.
3 groups will be formed. Now we want to apply some condition on the group data, not on the record level data.
Okay.
If you want to apply and record level, you have to use where clause. Nothing but if you want to get only those employees whose jobs type is clerk, whose salary is greater than something, or let us say you want to
Okay.
consider only those employees whose name starts with A, then you have to use where condition.
Okay.
Now we want to apply some particular logic on the group data. So this clarity you have to have it. Now our
Okay.
requirement is first of all list down all the employees, okay, who are having the
Yes.
employee count, okay, and considering that employee count in a given department are greater than 3. So if you want to find out the count of employees in a given department, we have to apply our logic on the group data, not on the normal record level data,
Now,
because you cannot get the
okay.
count.
Okay.
Having
So only
count.
When we group that, we will have the count.
That's it. Having count of star greater than 3. Right?
Okay.
I will write one more
Okay.
query. List down all the jobs where the salaries paid or okay, we'll try to work on both where condition as well as group condition also. Okay, where the
Okay.
sum of I'm clearly mentioning here. List down all the jobs where the total salaries paid to employees are greater than 1,000. Now you tell me.
Select job, comma, where total salary, sum of salary
Hmm?
from EMP,
Mm-hmm.
where employees are greater than 1,000.
Job. Okay. Yeah. From EMP.
EMP. So let me that query once. List down all the jobs where the total salary paid to employees, sum of salary from employees, sum of salary from employees, where salaries.
Should I use where?
Here we need to group.
Yeah, I understand this clearly. List down all the
List
jobs where
down
I mentioned clearly total salaries paid to
total salary.
employees are greater than 1,000. So what are we trying to do? First of all, group by job, right? We have to group by job.
Okay.
Nothing but you have 100 employees and there are 5 jobs. So you'll group the data according to the jobs, right? Nothing but you'll get 5 teams, isn't it?
Okay.
So generally, like
Okay.
when you play cricket, you have 1-2 kind of thing, right? You'll say 1 and
Yes.
someone say 2, and you'll
Yes.
group it according to 1 and 2. That is what you're
Yes.
doing here. You're grouping all the set of data according to the groups. Now you just apply where. So now we have to apply using having sum of salary greater than 1,000.
So
Clear?
okay.
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 So now I'll try to tell you in the where condition logic. List down all the
Okay.
employees. Okay.
Okay.
So list down all the employees based on job. Consider only those consider only those employees whose department is 10 or 20. Now tell me.
List down all the employees. Select employees.
So
Employee
list down
name.
all the employees count I can say here. I
Okay.
just want to display count for each particular job provided consider only those employees who belong to job who belongs to department number 10 or 20.
Select.
Yeah.
Okay. List down all the employees. Count based on job. Sum of employees. Based on all the.
Do you know the difference between count and sum?
No. Like count means total. Like sum is added to. Like I know. Like sum is like for the salaries like 1,000 plus 1,000. Count is total number of persons working in a particular job.
So
If they are
count
5.
count is number of records. See, like a terminology, you have to use it. You just can't go with a normal terminology. You have to go with the database terminology. So when you say count will display the number of records in a given table. Sum is for the purpose of summing all the sum is for the purpose of summing up the column information, right? So as you said, salary, that is correct, but like we have to have a database clarity. So you have to
Okay.
mention the sum is for the purpose of summing up the column values from the given table,
Okay.
and count is for the purpose of counting the number of records in a given table,
Okay.
right? So now here list down all the employees count based on a job. So nothing but we have to group the data based on job.
Job.
Now
Select
we just
job.
require a count, right?
Yes. Count of
So
star.
from EMP, and now I have to mention group by. If you don't mention group by, it will not work.
Okay.
Group by job. So
Yeah.
till this particular first part is done, list down all the employees count based on a job is done. Now it is saying that consider only those employees whose department is either 10 or 20. Now you tell me whether I have to use where condition or having condition.
Where
Are
if
you
you
sure?
need to
Are you sure?
where
Now you got the clarity where should we use where and having?
yes.
Okay, that's it. So you just need to understand before filtering, before grouping you want to filter something, or after grouping you want to filter something. I'll tell you one example. Let us say you're playing some particular game and there are around, like there are 50 audience are there or 50 team members are there. And what you want to do is you want to remove all this before starting the game or before the count begins, what you want to do is you want to filter all the people whose age is greater than 5. You just want to make sure that all the people in a group should be greater than 5. So what do you do? Whether you will do the grouping before or after? Nothing but when do you filter it? After having the sequences or before
Before.
sequences? Before,
Before.
right? So once you filter
Yes.
the people greater than 5, then you start grouping them, isn't it?
Group.
So
Yes.
that's how we have to consider when to group, when do you use where or when to use having.
And before. Okay.
Yeah. So we have used group by, having, yep, and anything more. Okay.
Where
Yeah.
would they have? So where the joins come in the frame?
Yeah. Yeah.
Does we use joins?
Yes. Yes. 1 minute.
Okay.
So now tell me what will happen now. Line number 106.
Total. Like it comes like if the name is Vamsi, it have the 5 characters like.
Mm-hmm.
So it gives the 5
So how many records
the
I'll get it? How many records I'll get it? The number of records.
the total number of like the T name is a column, right?
Now my question, see, understand my question. For the query 106, how many records I'll get it? How many records?
Total records in the column E name.
That is wrong. Okay, line number 104, if I execute this particular query, how many records I'll get it?
It's like total 39, the
Right.
total records. Yes.
39 records. Now my question is same again. How many records I'll get for 106?
Length of E name.
I'm not asking about column, right? I'm asking about the records, not the column. Oh, you tell me like how many columns I have here in this one.
Like 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7,
4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3,
8.
4. Yeah, 8. You know what is column, right?
Yes.
And what is a record? Record is a set of columns. The highlighted
Of
portion is
column.
called record.
Record.
Record is a set of columns. Now my question is, in this line number 106 query, if I execute it, how many records I'll get it? Same 39,
If I'm
right?
got
39.
39, if I'm got 39, because that every employee name, the total length of the employee name will come as a 39 records.
Leave about the length and all the stuff. You just concentrate on the
Okay.
from clause. Now we are concentration is on how many records I'll get it, not columns. I'm asking about how many
Okay.
records I'll get it. I'll get.
Total 39.
Yep, that's it. That is the answer.
Okay.
Now how many columns it is displaying?
One column.
Clear?
Clear.
Now let us say if I mention key name, salary like this. Now how many columns it will display?
3.
Clear?
Yes.
That's it. Now one more clarity you should have it here. Let us say set of sum of salary from EMP. Will this work?
Yes.
Sure.
Sure.
Okay. Okay. Now let us say
Mm.
the same concept again. Will this work?
Mm. It should work.
Are you sure?
Yes. My question is that the department number has a like 39 records, right? But sum of salary has just one record.
Mhm.
How does it come?
Okay. See now like one thing you have to understand is when you're applying a group function. So sum is a group function. Okay.
Okay.
Because why sum is called a group function? Because you're applying a particular function on a set of records, not a single record,
Yes.
right? You're applying a function
Yes.
on a set of records. Now it is like, you have 100 employees and you want to apply, you want, like, in the output you want to display department and you want to group by them. So the database does not understand that logic. Without applying a
Yes.
group by clause, how can I apply a group function? And you want some output in the select clause. So just see here, and it says not a single group by function. So the solution
Okay.
for this one is why it is not working, because in the
We need
select
to have the
clause,
group by.
when you mention, so but line number 108 worked perfectly, but line number 110 did not work. Why? Because we mentioned other columns which are apart from your group function, right? So if you mention some
Yes.
column, that should be grouped by. You have to group by
Okay.
department number. Now you'll not have an issue,
Okay.
because now here what is happening is you are mentioning sum of salary, but the sum of salary should be applied on all the records or on every department. How does the database know that? That is the reason it is giving error.
Okay.
So we mentioned some particular criteria in the select clause. You want to display department number, and you mentioned grouping stuff. So now here
Grouping.
department number is available for each and every record, and sum of salary should be applied on a group level. When you don't have a group data, how can I apply sum? That is the issue.
Okay.
Got it?
Yes.
Okay.
So when we are having a like a group by functions, we need to specify the group by. Only then the database can understand and retrieve the data.
Right. But here, if you see here, let us say select count of star, sum of salary, average of salary. Everything will work without group by. Observe here. I does not need to mention group by
Because we are not mentioning any particular
column. So
column.
what it considers is you want to apply your particular functions on the total data what is there in the EMP table.
Yes.
That is the reason. But if you apply some department here, again it says, okay, you want to have these particular functions should be executed on a particular column because on a particular group. So you have to mention group by clause,
Okay. Group by department number.
right?
Okay.
Okay. Now I'll come to a little bit complex here. Let us say, what will happen if I mention EMP number? Will it work first of all? Leave about the output, leave about what will be the result, but will it work syntactically?
Group by department number and employee it will work.
Right? How many
Yes.
records? How many records it will fetch?
When it group by the depending on both the department number and the employee number.
Okay.
Who's having the same.
Now consider like I have 100 employees. Will I get
Yes.
100 records, or how many records I'll get it?
No, if we have a 3 departments
Consider
and having
you consider again. I have 100 employees. Okay, and the
yes.
unique groups within the 100 department is 5. Okay. Now,
Okay.
first of all, let's start with the grouping of department. So if I group by based on the department, so I have to get 5 groups.
5 groups.
So, but now the question is, we want to group by based on department number as well as employee number also. So nothing but what will
Okay.
happen? Again, you're grouping on each individual employee number. So nothing but you'll get it will be 100.
It will be 100.
So
Okay.
now in our case, should be 30, 39.
Yes.
39.
Okay.
Right? Other base.
Because
Yeah.
that every employee number will have a
Group.
department number.
Yeah. Every employee will be a group again. Right?
Yes.
Now see here. Select EMP. I'll just say select count of star. I'll just mention from EMP. Group by EMP number. How many records I'll get it?
39.
So what will be the value for each and every record?
Every record.
Yeah. What
It's
will be?
1.
Yep. It should be 1, right?
Yes.
It will be 1 because you're grouping the data based on employee number. Nothing but 1.
Yes. Nothing but 1.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Now let us say you have a requirement to list down all the employees who are having same salary. List down the employee count
Employee
who
count.
are having same salary. How do I know the number of employees who are getting the same salary? I mean to say like I just want to display a salary and number of employees who are having the same salary.
Okay, select salary and count of employee.
Mm-hmm.
Group by
Mm-hmm.
salary. Having salary as
Mm-hmm.
like salary equal to sal. Is it work? Does it work like
We just think
we are
don't worry about database level. In general, you get a requirement. What do you do? Let us again consider same example. 100 employees are there. Now the requirement is to find out like employees who are having the
whether
same salary. So what you
same
do?
salary.
You have to group the data based on salary.
Group by salary.
So when you're
That's it.
grouping the data based on salary, it means that having same salary, isn't it?
Salary. Yes. If
That's
you
it.
have a okay,
So there is
clear.
nothing. You does not require any salary equal to salary comparison again, because grouping
Okay.
itself is grouping the same
Grouping
value.
itself is grouping the same value.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's it. So there are 14 employees who are getting the salary 1, 2, 3.
Yes.
There are yeah 2 employees who are getting the salary 5,000.
Okay.
Clear?
Okay. Here
Yep.
if we have
Yeah.
here if we add one more question to that query,
Hmm.
like the salary greater than 1,000,
Yeah.
how can we write a query?
Yeah. See now let us say we want to group like the same question, but let us say you want to consider that one more thing here. We have to whether you want to consider the group level or a group level or maybe record level. So we have to understand the requirement first. Let us say list down all the salaries and and display those consider those employees whose salary is greater than 100. Now we want to consider the same requirement, but the thing is you just need to consider only those employees whose salary is greater than 100. What should I do? I should apply it
So
where clause?
where clause? Where salary greater
Yeah,
than
yeah,
100,
yeah,
and then we need to group by the
right, right. Now let us consider same requirement little bit different now. List down all the salaries and consider those particular uh, consider those total salaries which are greater than 5,000. Now what we want to do is it's not that the employee record level, it's a group level we want to apply now,
okay.
right? So what I'll do, I'll just remove this one and having
Yeah,
sum of
having
salary
greater than
greater than 5,000.
5,000.
So first of all, it will group the data based on salary, okay? And it will apply some functionality on each and every group. It will apply
Group.
some functionality on each and every group,
Okay.
right?
Okay. Clear.
Can you see it? Got it?
Yes.
So there are 2 employees who are getting salary 5,000, nothing but 10,000, right? That is why sum of salary we are considering 10,000, which is greater than 5,000. That's the reason we got this record. Else we'll not get this record.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. So coming to the other one, joins. So in the joins we have different number of joins. Like we generally call it as some people call it as inner join or equi join. Both are same.
Okay.
And outer join and Cartesian join. Okay. 3 joins. Of course, there are a lot number of joins will generally come across theoretically, but these are the major joins which we generally come across: inner join, outer join, and Cartesian join.
Cartesian.
So now assume here, let us say if you observe here in our EMP table again, so we have a column called department number, and the department name you cannot see here. If you want to retrieve department name, I have to join with the department table. So there's another table called department, which I have to use it for the purpose of retrieving a department name. Now assume that you have a requirement to display department name while displaying the employee information. What we do?
Select star from employee,
where E dot department number is equal to D dot department number, right? This is general stuff we do. Now let us say E dot EMP number, E dot E name, D dot department number, and D dot D name, right? Now we'll get this information. Now the thing is, if you observe how many records we had in our EMP table, 39, right?
39,
Now how many I'm getting?
37.
Why I'm getting 37 only?
Because we are using like E department number
Hmm?
and the D department number. Like
So this is
it must
nothing.
be more.
Yeah, equal condition, right? Both should be
Yes.
satisfied. Equal
Yes.
condition, nothing but equijoin or inner join. This is called inner join or equijoin. So equijoin comes into picture when both the parties understand the value. When both the table value or column value satisfies. I should say column. Okay.
Okay.
Now other thing is like let us say now someone says no, why are you filtering the employees? I require all the employees. If they don't have department, don't display department. But why are you ignoring them? Right? That is general requirement. Again, it all depends upon the requirement. I can't we can't say that we cannot take that someone says no, I don't want all the employees. I just want those only those employees who are having department. Right? It all depends on the requirement which need to be considered. Now, so your requirement is to display all the employees irrespective of the department. Let us say display employee data irrespective of department. Then what should I do? I have to go for outer join. Don't worry about whether it's left or right. That will make you more confusion. Don't try to understand what is left, right, and full as of now. Ignore them as of now. Okay. Just consider outer join. That's it. Now here the requirement is to display employee data, right? Now requirement is display employee data. Now this is we know that this is a deficiency column, right? This particular column may not have data. That is the reason that they are getting filtered out. Now what we have to do is we have to apply the bandage on the other one. So what I tell is to other table, boss, don't try to compare with me if I don't satisfy with you, right? Just apply a plus symbol. That's it. Now see the result. Can you see?
Total 39. Okay.
These were the things which got filtered out, right? 10 and 11, which does not have any department.
Okay.
So apply the plus symbol on other table data, not your table data. There is a logic. Okay. Now EMPE, this is a table alias. Do you know what do you mean by this E?
Like alias name.
Yeah, it's just alias name. Instead of using my table name everywhere, I can just use E here if I want to refer a column name. Clear?
Yeah.
The logic is you have to apply the plus symbol on other table data if you want to work on outer join concept. So whenever you are filtering some data, you always have a requirement from which table is your main table. Now in my case, my concentration is on the employee level. So that is the reason I apply plus at the department level, department table. Now if I just see here what will happen if you just change the plus symbol, the result will be different. Observe here. This plus symbol is very drastic one. So you have to use very carefully. Just see the result.
Only 2 records.
No. No. Not 2. It will be more than 39. 38. It's displaying 38. I'll tell you the reason also. Okay. The first reason is we have to understand this logic. First thing is to find out the number of employees, number of departments in the EMP table. How many we have?
3.
4, right?
4.
Total 4. And how many departments are there in the department table? Sorry. Where are we?
165.
Oh. Right? So we have 5 departments here. Okay. And if you observe, I have 10, 20, 30, 40 and 50, right? But there is one department who does not have any record, right? 50.
Yes.
There is no employee in the EMP table with a 50. Okay. So when I applied plus symbol, what happened is, observe here. So, and can you see here? For 50 employee, 50th employee, 50th department, what happened? There is no employee data.
No.
So it is displaying 37 records, isn't it? We have 37 records, isn't it? 39, total
Yes.
39, total
Total
39,
39.
but there are two departments who does not have a department, so it has ignored that, because our concentration now is on the department level, not the employee level, because we applied the plus symbol on the other place,
Employee. Okay.
employee. So nothing but my concentration is on department data now.
Okay.
Okay. So observe this one. If plus symbol is on another table, it means that you want to consider your data. That's how it is.
Okay.
Now our logic is now display all the departments irrespective of the employees. Whether I have the employees or not, you just display the departments. Now what will happen is the 5 departments will get displayed, and if there is a matching employee record which is available, it will display that also.
Okay.
So that's the reason what is happening is you are getting, first of all, how many unique departments we have in the employee table? 4, right? How many unique departments we have in the department table? There are 5, right? And total number of records who are having department in the EMP table is 37, right?
37.
So now we'll get 37 records plus there is one particular department which was not available in the EMP table. That record will get displayed. That is the reason you got 38.
38. Okay.
Clear?
Clear.
Now, so coming to Cartesian join, it's simple. If you don't apply your join, that's a Cartesian join. That's it.
That's it.
And the number of records will be 39 into 5, 150, 45, 195. 39 into 5, right? For each particular record of department, you will see 39 records. That's how it will work.
Okay. So if we don't use any joins by combining two tables, then it is a Cartesian join.
Yes. This is also required sometimes, Cartesian join. It is very rarely used, but generally sometimes you may need to work on this one also. Clear?
Clear.
There is one more join that is called self join. Okay. Self join, actually it is equivalent to your normal equi-join only. See, self join, there is no difference at all. It's equal to equi-join itself. Nothing but what you do is in the self join, the only difference is you apply the join on the same table. If we observe this one, let's select star from EMP. I have a column called manager. So generally, if you consider any of the organization, manager is also an employee, isn't it? Every manager is an employee. So now if you have a requirement to display employee name followed by manager name, what should I do?
Come again.
If I want to display employee name, employee details with manager name also, what should I do?
So select start from EMP and E dot. So here where E dot employee equal to E dot MGR, E dot manager.
I'm not asking about comparison here. Any employee, see, if you consider employee is equal to manager, you can't become your own manager, right? That's wrong. If you mention E dot EMP number is equal to E dot MGR, you're trying to compare your own self.
Okay.
That is not the
manager.
case. So here what we have to do is E dot EME and EMP M. Okay. What I'll do is we'd like to display employee details with the manager details, right? So now E dot ename, M dot ename, right? And I just want to display my manager name, right? E dot MGR is equal to M dot EMP number. Got it?
So here we are comparing employee.
I'm comparing my manager with another table EMPM. Consider that way. So consider, like, don't try to say that both are the same here. Now let us say I have one table which will have employee information, another table which is having manager information. Okay. Now I have a manager number here. If I want to get my manager name, I have to join, because manager is an employee on another table. Manager is nothing but another employee. So now this M is having the manager information. So I have to apply M.emp number here. And here I have to apply E.mgr because I need to retrieve my manager name.
Okay. So manager name equal to employee number.
Yep. Now you can see E.emp number, M.emp number, and E dot mgr. You see this? Got it? For employee name Teja, King is the manager.
So here the question is the employee number with the same manager.
No, question is not that one, right? Display employee details with manager name.
Okay.
Question is display employee data with the manager information also.
Okay. Along with the manager information also. That's it.
Yes, yes. So let us say your question, like a display those employees who are manager to themselves, then what I have to do? I does not need to apply any other extra stuff, right? So I'll just say select start from EMP where EMP NY is equal to MGR. That's it. So this will display all the employees who are managers to themselves. There is no record. And a manager cannot be manager for himself, right?
Yes.
Of course, the C-level stuff, that's a different story, but generally that is not the case.
Okay.
Clear?
Clear.
Yeah. So this is total SQL stuff. Okay. So we better will have the reports in next session, not now. So it is almost heavy now.
Okay. So
Okay.
I will go and check all the syntaxes once again in the W3 schools. It will be fine, right?
Anything, you just understand the logic. Anywhere you can work on it. Yeah.
Okay.
You can install your Oracle database also. Generally, you'll have all this particular stuff.
Okay then.
You can install
Bye.
Oracle XE. You will have all these things.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Bye.
Have a